Lizzie joins us, if you want to come on one of our panels, we
Yeah.
we have a lot of fun. You're more than welcome to join.
That sounds like so much fun.
All right.
Lizzie is so much fun, though.
Yeah.
She is. We have a blast with her.
It is almost time. I wish I had a countdown.
Oh, look
Let's
at
see.
us.
10, 9.
Let me get my butt back on my chair.
Yes, get your butt on your chair.
My butt's on my chair.
It's either the longest minute or the shortest minute. Hey, Doug, how are you? Welcome. All right, we're getting ready to start. Well, you know what? It's been running all along. Oh, and it's 7 o'clock. It's 7 o'clock Sunday night. And welcome to the What Is From cast. Gosh, I can screw anything up. I swear to God. So to my right, you should see, or maybe that's my left, you should see Lisa, my good pal Lisa.
Hello.
And below us is DanaMarie.
My internet that's going crazy, or Liz's?
I'm so used to it with Scarlett that I don't even realize it sometimes.
I think
All
Liz's
right. I don't know why that happened.
I didn't know if it was me or if it was you.
It happened to me as well. All right. So here we are. We are doing season 4, episode 5 of From. And it is what a long, strange trip it's been. And all I can hear is the Grateful Dead saying that. I think this might be one of the best, if not the best episode I've ever seen. I loved it. I loved it so much. It was, I mean, the thing about it, we got some answers, but we still got questions.
We got more questions. We got some answers, but we got more questions.
Yeah. You know, sometimes it's like your parent trying to answer a question for you that they don't want to answer. So our cold open is at the lake with the floaties. And they pull them up and they're examining them. Donna, Ellis, Roger, and for a while until I got to the end of the episode, it was just a line so I could fill in her name, but it's Patty. Look at it, and I noticed that pumpkins are being harvested and cabbage. What is with the ants? To commit anticide. Well, this one is stubborn. All right. So just like Jade with the spiders. All right. So let's see. Donna decides to pull it in, but Roger, which I find this to be interesting when we get to see the episode, Roger vehemently disagrees with this decision. Hey, Vic. Hey, Jackson. It looks like, DanaMarie is over in chat. That's great. But Patty agrees with Donna and Ellis, and they pull it in, and it's covered in weeds. Ethan and Tabitha are burying the bird. And I don't know. I can't help but wonder how this bird is going to pop up again.
I thought it was going to come alive.
So was I. I was waiting for the moment for it to like zombie its way out of the dirt or start moving.
Yeah, like just a little flutter of the wing or something, you know, or a little of the neck, right? So then we go over to the sheriff's office. Jade's looking out the window. The yellow suit, did you notice the yellow suit on the desk behind him? Just sitting there?
I still need to watch it again though. I've only watched it twice, so
Same.
I will
I'm
probably
only on my
watch it one
second
more time.
watch.
I think I've only watched it twice. Well, I've had it running. I've got it running right now, but I happened to notice it the first time around. It doesn't make me anything special, let me tell you. He tells Boob, he tells Boyd that the shrooms have kicked in. And
I think you're froze again, Lizzie.
Yes.
He starts.
Yeah. So are you there, Lizzie? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. All right. So they're in the station, and
Yes.
Boyd agrees to be the person. They come up with the safe word, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, I will be your safe person. I will help you. I do want to. Can we go back to the scene at the lake for one more second, though, before we move on to this?
Yeah.
Because you said something about they're harvesting pumpkins, right? And I noticed that too when they were zooming out that they were pumpkins.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if they're going to if this is a way to kind of set it up, Halloween, the thinning of the veil, the pumpkins, the harvest season, the whole bit. I mean, I wonder if it just seemed a little bit like eerie to me that it was, pumpkin
like
harvesting.
Why pumpkins?
Yeah.
Because it's not, I guess I wouldn't call that a staple crop. Cabbage, I can understand.
Mm-hmm.
But pumpkins, I don't quite understand. But I think one thing, my safe word is always going to be Capricorn now. I'm going to take that one on. Not that I have never, ever needed one, but now I've got one. I don't have to think about it. And then we go over to the clinic.
Oh my goodness.
I think they're the ones that need the safe word.
Seriously.
Christy is setting Sophia's forearm, and I'm just like, I bet this thing doesn't even feel it, No,
probably not. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was a show. It was all a show.
Yeah. And Mari goes to get a brace from the ambulance as Julie and Randall go in. And all of a sudden, the shackles snap onto her.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, ah! like that was just, of course it was scary, but apparently that is her whole part in this whole thing, Vic is saying her safe word is stop. Stop just doesn't always work. All right. So we're going to start with the clinic tonight. And we're going to talk about the Sophia, Christy, and Marielle thing that's going on. So they're setting the wrist, and let's see. And Christy realizes Marielle has been gone, and she needs the splint that she sent her out to the ambulance to get. And Mari says, Marielle says she's fine and needed a minute, but Christy knows it's BS, and she follows her back into the clinic.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't it scare you, like when the radio came on and it was just the sounds of torture?
Yeah, it was. I mean, what does Sophia want from Marielle? Like, I mean, I think I know that Sophia, like, her main goal is to just create chaos so that everyone tears each other apart.
Yeah.
But at first Sophia was going after Sarah, and now it's Marielle. Like, is there a pattern to who Sophia goes after? I mean, what do you think, guys? Do you think there's a pattern, or?
I think she's got a checklist. You go ahead, Dana.
Yeah. Well, we definitely know that this place loves its patterns and its cycles. So I definitely think there is a reason, but we have to assume that there's a 3 every cycle. Like, is there 3 people that are always honed in on during each of the cycles? So are they kind of like her main focus? We haven't really seen her interact. We've seen her interact with Julie in the sense of getting her angry. We've
Right.
now seen her interact with Marielle in the sense of just bringing up that like that torturing her.
Yeah.
What is she going to do to Randall?
Yeah, I mean, I do think that you're right. There is a pattern to it, and the goal is to piss people off and make them angry and fight. And I
Yeah.
think Marielle hit the nail on the head when she said, "There's something evil here that's ancient, and it feeds on our anger. Like when
Yeah.
we're upset, and it feeds on it." And I think that that's really evident with how Sophia just pokes and prods and gets people to their breaking point. But so, I mean, do we draw from this that the dead are still trapped in the town? Like everyone that's ever died there is still trapped there? Because even at the end of the episode, no, it was Marielle who said it. Everyone's trapped here. Even if we die, we don't get to leave, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. You're still there. There's no leaving, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Was that like our hint that the Father Kotri we see, the Tom that we see, even Jim, Abby, is that confirmation to you guys that they are in fact themselves and still just trapped here? Do you still think there's something else even after Marielle made that statement?
You know, I'm thinking about it, and this is how I get confused real easily, because I'm just like, if they all keep coming back, if they all keep getting reincarnated, then how can, they be there? Or is it that version of them? Like well, yeah, it's got to be, because Jade had all his versions of him there in front of him. Oh, but that was hallucinating. He was hallucinating that entire thing. So they weren't really there.
But how do you know they weren't really there? I mean, his hallucinations could be it could be as real as anything else in this weird town.
I know,
Jason,
but I was thinking every time he was starting to hallucinate, the spiders showed up.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because, remember when it all starts in the beginning of this episode, he's looking out the window, there's the spiders.
Yep, and they're all over him.
So, see, it's so hard to figure out what we should call a hallucination and what we should call something quote unquote real. Not that it's real in the sense of, like the townsfolks walking around, but because that's the argument we have over on our channel when we talk about hallucinations. Like, does that fit in that category, the things that these people see? Or are they planted visions compared to something you would think makes them crazy? When you say hallucinations, that could label somebody crazy.
Yeah.
Right. And I think you hit the nail on the head. Well, I keep saying hit the nail on the head. I'm gonna change it anyway. But the point you make, it's a vision. Maybe it's a vision. Maybe it's not just an hallucination. Maybe it's a vision. I think, and how many people we know that Jade, we know that Tabitha have been reincarnated and brought back to this place. Do you think that everybody in the town has been brought back because they were there before? I mean, I don't get that sense from Donna or from.
I don't know. We don't know enough about Donna, and I was thinking about her a lot during this episode, but I just want to go back. I've got Jackson's comment up, and I'm thinking it had to have been his trip, like his whole hallucination, because at the end, he's being, converged on by all the monsters. and he gets out of that. So, and at this particular moment, I can't remember how he got out of that, but he got out of that.
Because Boyd grabbed him and he just woke him up. I mean,
yeah,
and then he's like,
it.
how did we get here? How did we get here? And he's like,
yeah.
we never left. Like,
right. So it was an hallucination the whole time.
Right.
So, yeah. So, yeah, he never left the chair. He was sitting there the whole time. And it reminded me a little bit, I was thinking about it like Westworld. Like, remember that show Westworld? And some people were there and some people were robots.
Yeah.
And I was thinking that Boyd was Jade's robot, because Boyd was acting the way that Jade needed him to act. They weren't butting heads, which they sometimes do. Boyd was just there being helpful the entire time and redirecting him, almost like a traffic director or a traffic controller or whatever.
Yeah.
I was waiting. Yeah, I thought we might see Acosta too. And like when they went down into that basement in Colony House, I was looking for Acosta, but I don't know what building she was in cleaning the basement.
So here's my question too. When I saw that, before I knew that he was just hallucinating and that he and Boyd weren't really at Colony House and they went to the basement. Yeah. If there really is a door there wasn't that much covering up that door. Somebody would have known that there was a door down there. So it's going to be interesting to see if they try to go back there next week, because he's going to say, oh, I found a door. But yeah.
Because I mean, there was, remember, was it Julie that was down there looking for something? Like
with
she
Elgin,
with Elgin.
They found the camera.
Yeah. They could have found that door easily.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I agree, Jackson. It was a little weird, Boyd telling him to drink. It's like, go ahead and drink that blood. It's not real anyway. I'm like,
I know. But he was right. It wasn't real. This was all.
And then there were spiders in the bottom of the bowl. And then, it was crazy.
It almost got me a little nervous, because it very much reminded me of when Elgin turns to Sarah and is like, well, it's just water.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we still have to be careful, because it's not just water. It's not just drinking the blood. So for a quick second, I was wondering whether Boyd was really Boyd in that vision, because again, we know that the man in yellow can do what he does, right? He can put voices in people's heads. He can manipulate a lot of things. What if he's manipulating Jade's vision, like Trip?
Can he do that while
I don't know.
He's busy at the clinic?
It's an interesting theory. I have
we
to
don't
say
know.
That.
I mean, can he split himself like that? Like, is he omniscient?
That's what makes him so scary, is that we don't know.
And I want to say, for some reason, I just get this feeling that Jade and Tabitha are somehow not as susceptible to the control of the man in yellow, just because of everything that they already know about the place and everything that they remember. And I think I said this a couple weeks ago, they said knowledge comes with a price or whatever. Their past visits to this place, have they remembered this much before? Like, is this the furthest they've ever gotten in their quest? Because we know that they've been here, at least 4 or 5 times. There were 4 versions of Jade on that porch.
Young Jade says plus so many more.
Right?
Yeah.
So we don't really know the exact number.
Right.
So it's definitely more than the 4 that we saw.
And like the most recent one, Christopher didn't make it very far.
No, he didn't.
now it makes me wonder who killed Christopher. And it's like knowing that he was Christopher, it explains why Christopher was showing up to him, when he was hallucinating Christopher. And I was just thinking, like, if Boyd was saying the blood wasn't real, and then the spiders show up in the cup, that's definitely telling him he's having an hallucination. That's just another thing.
Yeah, no, and now when I go back and watch it again, I am going to pay really close attention to the dynamic between Boyd and Jade, because I think, was it Jackson that said something about how, it was just a little weird with how he was talking to Boyd. So now I'm going to have to go back and watch it, really pay attention again. So
I think he was talking to Boyd the way he normally would, and he was having Boyd respond to him the way he would want Boyd to respond to him, more subservient and helpful, versus trying to put Boyd's agenda across. Like he was making Boyd color in, within the Jade lines, when Boyd oftentimes comes up and takes his crayon and he's doing this because that's what Boyd has to do in order to do what he's got to do, especially when it comes to Jade. Boyd keeps things in line, or tries to anyway.
Right. I get really nervous because of the simple fact of, we know this place feeds off that hope, that fear. Mm-hmm. So if whatever is at play, whether it's good, evil, something neutral, I just feel like everybody's got to be careful because we don't know what's real. And just because Jade thinks, oh, he's figured it out, what if this is just another setup? Like, we're going to give you some hope, make you think that you figured it out, but in the end, it's just going to be another middle finger.
And I wonder, saying that, I wonder how much control that the powers that be had over that trip. Were they influencing that entire thing, or was Jade independently going through that? Had any of the previous Jades tried to get that far? And just never did. At what point was Jade killed in all the previous lives?
Well, I mean, we know Christopher, right? Because the funny thing about Christopher is that I totally lost my
God, I hate this. Yeah, like it comes up. It might come back to you.
So Victor thinks that Christopher killed everyone, right? Like he's thinks that Christopher was a monster. And basically what I got from this was that Christopher didn't kill anyone. Christopher got killed because he was, he was a past iteration, like he was Jade in a past iteration.
Yeah.
And then Jade finds out that he got killed by the townspeople, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And when Victor came up, he was hiding in a root cellar. So he just came up and just saw all this carnage and was just freaked out. But he's kind of been carrying around the wrong story for all these years. Christopher didn't, it was the townspeople and it was the town itself. Christopher probably got too close to the truth, and then the town freaked out, and that's when everybody tore everybody apart and the Yellow Man shows up. So
but they killed Christopher and then got killed themselves.
Well, they killed each other, right? They ripped each other apart. That's what the Yellow Man's like. This is the part that I love. They all tear each other apart.
But I think, and I wonder if it's metaphorically, or they really tear each other apart, because when in the clinic, we've got Marielle and Christy arguing, and Yellow Man is out in the hallway doing whatever he's doing, right? Getting towels, moving towels, I don't know. And I couldn't believe
Eavesdropping.
I couldn't believe that he wasn't smiling. I was waiting for just even the lip to just slightly curl, and then takes a few more steps, and then Randall and Julie are arguing. So it's like in his presence, the start of the ripping apart starts, or he ignites that ripping apart.
Did you? What's the poor guy's name who got his jaw ripped out at the lake?
Roger, I believe.
Yeah, Roger.
Yeah,
that was ripping apart. I think that it's literal. I think when the Yellow Man says when they rip each other apart, I think it's literal. I think people are ripping each other apart.
So you think the bodies we see from the massacre are what the townsfolk did to each other, and the monsters had nothing to do with it?
I think, yes, but I think the monsters are the people too. The monsters are the townspeople, the original townspeople, right?
Well, but they have their specific job. I mean,
right. No, I
unless they come in at the end and get, the doggy bags.
No, I think that the townspeople, because we can see how on edge, like Marielle, and even what Sophia did to Sarah last week, like messing with their minds pushes them to the edge. Like when they're in that, like they don't have control of their mind. They don't know. I mean, they're being controlled. So I think it's possible.
Not realizing it.
Yeah, they could rip each other apart.
Yeah. It just, I was sorry to see Roger go. I almost invited him this evening.
No.
I thought about it.
He made me so mad during the episode. I just watched him. They're all pulling on the ropes and he's just kind of standing there. I was like, you tugged on the rope to begin with. At least help.
I know. He started this whole thing.
I'm like, this is all on you. You can at least help them drag that rope out of the...
He could have not pulled the rope.
Exactly.
But he started it. And I saw that too. I noticed that too, that he was just kind of standing there like with his arms crossed, like, you know what? This is trouble. I can smell this being trouble. And I'm like, you should have been smelling it when you were pulling it. So, he started the whole thing. So I don't know. Let's see. I want to end this little section with Marielle, Marielle saying, I can hear them screaming, every single person that's ever died here, which was what she heard and felt in the chamber. Like the same sound that she was hearing in the chamber was coming in over that radio. And it makes me like, was Martin the Yellow Man? Was he the Yellow Man there? Was he kind of like, stepping in a cameo? You know how sometimes a director will step in and just kind of push at something?
Oh, yeah. Scarlett's a big believer that Martin, if not the Yellow Man, he's something. Yeah. He's something. And I see it. I definitely see Martin is... like he's just such an enigma in the story right now. It's like we got that little bit from him and then like that was it.
Yeah.
That was it. And it makes you feel like there's something more with him because they left it so open-ended. And I don't know if they did that just so we're sitting here now having the conversation about it. Or is there really something to Martin?
I don't think I think he may pop up again, because like, think about it. We just had Jade hallucinate this entire episode. Couldn't Boyd have been hallucinating that entire episode? because we know that Julie popped in and threw the rope. Remember, that was the big question.
Mm-hmm.
Who threw the rope? Where did that come from? So at some point, she knew she had to pop in there, throw the rope, and move on. All right, Jackson is saying, I honestly believe Martin was a regular person from the town who got trapped there but couldn't die because of the worms. And I'm wondering if the worms even exist.
Right? Because now we got the whole tidbit about nightmares.
Yeah.
Right.
And it gives you the throwback to Sarah's brother and what she said about him with the cicadas.
Yeah.
And now it's like, okay, so if the cicadas were a nightmare, if the dolls were a nightmare, what is it about those two specific nightmares that came to life? There's always a bunch of people. Everybody's got to have nightmares. You're in a horrible place.
Right.
Why are they honing in on these two nightmares? Yeah. If nightmares are so significant. And that's the one thing that I think actually irritated me about the episode, because I was like, they built up the cicadas to be this thing, right? Could it be a monster? Could it be? And now it's like, okay, you're gonna say it's a nightmare, but everybody's got nightmares. So what made that nightmare special? Now, maybe they'll give it to us. Maybe they just haven't given us that answer yet. But I just didn't like how they brought forth all these now extra questions.
Yeah. And I think too, oh, go ahead, Liz. I'm sorry.
You go.
No, the whole chains, like the chains, I think are super specific to Marielle's worst nightmare, right? Being back in the cave and being chained up. Like, I don't know if you remember back in, I think it was season 2, when she was in the cave with Julie and Randall, and she's like chained up, right? But I think what's happening is, when Tabitha talks about the nightmares, like the nightmares come out of the lake. And did they call it Nightmare Lake? Where was it? What did they call it when at the beginning of the episode?
I don't remember. Let me see.
What did they say they called? Was it Nightmare Lake?
I don't remember a Nightmare Lake.
They call I don't know, but I know that Tabitha said that the nightmares came out of the lake after this man died, and it was his nightmares that came alive. But I also think that Sophia is trying really hard to manipulate Marielle by telling her she's a prophet. And she's
my God. That was the closest she came to a smile, like starting a smile when she said that. It was killing her, like not to laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think you're a prophet.
Yeah, I think you're a prophet. But it's like, all of those screams that Marielle heard, they're like the screams of the people who died. And it's like, what are their, like, I just think that the whole nightmare theme, the whole nightmare thread has a theme that we probably want to pay attention to, because I think that maybe like some of the really horrible and terrifying things that happen are just people's nightmares that are just coming, like this place can make their nightmares come true. Like that's just my thought.
All right. I was thinking about this a second ago, when we were talking about Marielle being on the chain, like chained up, right? Think about what the huge obstacle that she has overcome in life, which was her addiction, her drug addiction.
Mm-hmm.
And that would basically be her chained to something where she was trapped. And it would be a matter of her freeing herself.
Yeah.
And this is what she needs to do to get free of this place. And Randall definitely has something that has got him chained down, but we don't know what it is. Like he's an enigma at this point. We don't know what it is behind all of his anger. We just know that he's got the anger. But with Julie, what is it that has got her chained? Is it the death of her little brother? Did she play some part in that we, has yet to be revealed? But the three of them are fighting chains, like being chained down to something. And this being here could be their opportunity to free their soul. If they keep coming back and back again and again, perhaps this is what their true purpose is to free themselves from that once and for all.
Well, I think what I loved about the whole interaction, though, when going back to Sophia telling Marielle that she's probably a prophet chosen by God, and Mario's like, no, this is like, she just like dismisses that so quickly, and like, no, this is an evil ancient entity that's feeding off of, just, I don't know that she's going to be manipulated by that suggestion as much as Sophia would like. I think she picked the wrong person to say, you're a prophet from God. And she's like, no, God has nothing to do with this.
Right? Yeah. She came into town as the preacher's daughter.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're now you're dealing with somebody who that's not going to work. You're not going to be able to drop the God word or drop these biblical words and Marielle be moved by it or touched by it. Like, she is very dismissive of it.
Yeah.
So that could actually help Marielle in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, being that she's not going to fall for it. Like, don't give me that prophet nonsense. Don't give me this like, oh, yeah, no, this place sucks. This place sucks. It's evil. And like,
but what if that's it though? What if Marielle has an issue with God? And that's why she's so dismissive of all of that, in that somehow she feels betrayed by God, and that's why.
Has it been established that Marielle is an atheist?
No,
but I definitely think she believes in God. She is just not the religious type that would be drawn into somebody like Sophie. She's not like one of those people who will put as much stock and faith in like the Bible, quote the verses, do stuff to that extent, but I don't think she doesn't believe in God. Or at least it never came off that way to me.
Yeah. I think she definitely has some sense of spirituality.
Yes.
She definitely
that is, I don't know.
I just think her even just saying out loud that whatever's here is ancient and it's feeding off our, all of the turmoil and all of our fear. Right. It's feeding off of it. So I think Marielle has critical thinking skills that like, I just don't think that she's going to fall into that the trap that Sophia is trying to lay for her. I
don't think so either.
When Marielle said that, I was like, Sophia is just eating popcorn. I think she was loving that, Whoops, there goes my computer. Can we talk about Fatima real quick? Because there's really not much.
She made some progress on that golem, huh?
She did.
She got that thing together pretty fast.
I know, but I'm like, is it a golem or is it a Buddha? Because it looked like it was going to have a pretty big belly.
Listen, she's doing the best she can with what she's got. It ain't going to be pretty. It's not going to be perfect, but it'll be something.
Yeah. She's definitely not her smiley self. No. Like normally when dealing with her prior to this pregnancy, she was, very upbeat, and I mean, I'm sure it has something to do with being attached to Smiley, of all people. You know, it blows my mind that Smiley was just an extra. And it was him hanging over that banister that made him a star. It blows my mind. You just never know where you're going to end up. But at any rate, I'm waiting to find out what's going to happen with the two of them.
Yeah, she said that she just is expecting to look out the window and see him. I'm like, and Deanna and I were watching together, and I said, I wonder if she's gonna have maternal instincts and just want to say, "Oh, come to mama."
Oh, my mom was saying that too. Like, do we have to like lock Fatima up because she's gonna open the door because she feels some sort of maternal instinct to like Smiley saying, "Come here."
Or is he
feel
going to be able to control her
Yeah.
and get her to open the door?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Can we break our hearts a little bit and talk about Henry?
Poor Henry.
Yeah, that was rough.
I know. That was really rough.
That was rough.
Did you guys wonder if in the years since his family left, I mean, did he say anything about having been an alcoholic? Like during that time? I mean, it would make sense if he had been, but it seemed like he was falling off the wagon more so than, you know.
Yeah,
he definitely showed signs of it when you first see him. Like you could definitely tell that there was something else, because even when he came into From, he was very much attached to the bar.
Yeah.
And he was drinking, and it was just sad because I felt like he was doing so good.
Yeah,
and then
Jackson. Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. This set him back.
Yeah.
I
mean, I'm wondering if he had been in an abusive rage and Miranda and the kids left. Like Miranda got the kids out of there one night, you know, when you have to escape, when you're in that situation. And, you know, him kind of carrying the guilt of that, you know, all this time. And maybe finding a certain peace with it, but never knowing where they ended up, or if they even, you know, if they died or whatever. He never knew if they were alive or not. But it just, the whole, you know, leaving on a jet plane, like singing that, and I'm just like, it just was ripping my heart out.
And seeing Victor's reaction to it.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if he remembers, like, I don't know if his dad's drinking started after or before. So if it started, it felt like it started after to me, just for the simple fact, the way Victor was reacting to it. It didn't seem like that was something he remembered seeing his father act like.
Yeah, because I even remember Henry mentioning when he met Tabitha, that him and Miranda used to do drugs and drink all the time, but when they you know, they stopped when they had
the kids.
So yeah, it was sad.
Yeah. Oh, Todricks is saying he enters the show with a six-pack to yell, "Get off my yard" to Tabitha. Yeah. That's right. That is right.
Yeah.
So yeah, he definitely has a drinking problem of some sort.
Yeah, Vic, I kind of agree with you that he probably did start drinking heavily when his family went missing.
Yeah.
That, I mean, I would get it if that was the case.
Yeah.
Like I can't even fault him for it. And it just it broke my heart with how how upset he got after seeing that image. And
Oh
I
my
don't think
gosh.
he got, it wasn't just the fact that he now found out what happened to his wife, it's the fact that his son had to see it.
And just maybe the guilt. I think I'm doubling down on she left one night when he was out of control. And possibly I'm thinking he's feeling the guilt of his behavior and causing that to happen, and then finding out exactly what happened when they left.
Could
I
be.
don't know. I don't know if I got that impression or not.
I me neither. Because I know that she left with the kids to find from.
Yeah.
She left to do that. And I think she left Henry behind because Henry didn't believe it.
But
He didn't
what if
understand it. So she left in the sense of, he's only going to try to stop me. He's not going to allow me to get to this place. So she left without him. Now, why she took her kids, I don't know. I that's always a little like, you didn't really have to bring, like, I get being a mom, you wouldn't want to leave, but where you're going, do you really want your kids there?
she did, I don't think she fully knew, but what if she'd been looking for the gumption to get up and go there? And this one night he was just so far out of control that she took, I don't have any place to go. I'm going to go there.
Well,
Well,
no, it absolutely, you could, we just don't know.
Yeah.
We don't, and I don't know if that's something that we're going to know.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
because we have
absolutely.
15 episodes left, let's say 10
Shut
episodes
up! Don't say
season.
that.
Like, what information are they going to pack into those episodes that we have left? I have a feeling we're not gonna get all the answers. And I know that's something that me, James, and Scarlett talk about a lot. Like, I have a feeling we're not gonna get all of the answers. They're gonna leave some stuff up to us open-ended. Or if they choose to go further with the show afterwards by doing something connected in this show, we might have to wait even longer for some of the answers, if ever.
Right. But I hope it's not another Sopranos where you don't know what happens. Like, you assume that Tony got hit,
Yeah.
I don't want that. And I think you're right. I think they're going to fight the urge to answer every single question, but I think they are going to answer a lot of them, like a lot of the fundamental questions, and maybe some of the ones, like leave a couple of nagging ones so that, we think about it forever.
Yeah.
Are we ready to shift gears over to the lake?
Sure.
Okay.
can I just need to make a comment though, because Jackson said something that made me laugh. It's safe to say that whatever soul that Miranda and Tabitha have, it just doesn't really have great maternal instincts. They're not the best.
They do seem, it's funny. It's funny he verbalized something that I've kind of thought, that these two women seem to get distracted by something. Like, her son died because she was distracted. Like, she allows that, both of them allowing themselves to be distracted when they need to keep their eyes on the ball. I mean,
yes,
I don't know. So it was crazy when they were pulling the grass off these things and they were like these giant dolls. I don't know. It didn't seem to fit for me. What did you guys think about that?
I'm with you. I don't know where these dolls fit in, except for the fact of bringing them up as a nightmare.
Yeah. Or, well, I mean, I can see them being Tabitha's dolls when she was a kid, but having them be giant and come alive, Lisa?
I think that I thought they were voodoo dolls. That's exactly what I thought when they came out when they came out,
Okay.
I thought that they were voodoo dolls.
Okay.
And then when Tabitha touched the doll and kind of like had a memory of smaller versions of the dolls that were hers.
Yeah.
Like she talks about the man throwing them into the lake because he was afraid of them, that they gave him nightmares. And they were tiny. So how did they get so big, and how did they get wrapped in these nets, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Vic's got some strong feelings here.
Yes.
Jade, Tabitha,
Oh,
and
yes.
Jim.
My Vic, she sure does.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why, other than where they were, these dolls were driving him crazy. So maybe there was something more to that, that would make more sense. But I think because of where they were, those dolls were somewhat driving him crazy. And maybe the dolls were coming to him in dreams and talking to him. Maybe he was, having halulus every now and again, and the dolls would talk. I can't remember, was it you, Dawn, that was saying that the dolls represented Tabitha, Jim, and Jade?
Somebody just said it in the chat too.
Okay,
the three dolls are Jade, Tabitha, and Jim.
Yeah, someone did say that. And there's some interesting talk. I'm gonna kind of like say this to kind of color everything that goes on here, out at the fields. People are thinking that, or some person is thinking that Donna is of that place, that Donna shows up all the time and is kind of like, her job is to act like she's one of the survivors here, but she's got a connection to the place because, it was a video I saw today. And it was weird that this guy was saying that when I'm sitting here and I'm doing my notes and it's, coming across, and then all of a sudden having, feeling a little bit vindicated because unexpectedly having someone kind of say what I was thinking. And we get the picture of her and her sister. But I went back, I did make a video about this a couple of weeks ago. And it was when Jim had died. And Jim was talking to her about them having made, like having the radio up in the tree, they got a signal in. And she pulled him aside and she was like, you got to be quiet. Somehow they know, they're listening and they can hear you, whoever they is. And it was like, maybe she was saying that so that he'd get further along in the game, or maybe she liked him. Maybe she knew that, this is him coming back again, trying to redirect him away from it. But, she made the decision to pull the dolls in. Roger disagreed with her, and Roger ends up dead. Like, Patty was, I don't want to say she was fine. She got a burn on the side of her face, but, she was able to escape. I think Donna saved her, right?
Oh, it was Ellis.
It was Ellis that saved her. Okay. Yeah. like at one point, Donna redirects Ellis and then Ethan away from the subjects of the water and the dolls. Like, I don't know, like maybe she had in another time or at some point had some experience with these dolls, and where they were inert on the shore of that lake, she took the opportunity to cut them open and find out like they're just filled with stuffing and fabric, stuff that wasn't being used, so that it could be made into a doll. Jackson is saying, I believe Donna is a witch and is working with the man in yellow. I'm kind of wondering, I posted that before the show, that maybe that.
I thought she was going to die. I really thought she was going to die this episode. But Jackson's like, I don't
know. I feel like she's safe, like I feel like she can't. Like she's got show armor or something. Like she can't be killed. And if she is killed, it's because she betrays an agreement that she's made with someone or something at this place. I think that's the only way she dies. I don't know. That's just what I'm thinking. It's just this whole thing with the dolls was just kind of crazy.
The dolls, it really was a weird. It's going to have to tie in somehow. I mean, I wonder if, I don't know. I just think that because of the way this show connects every single little thing, it has to have something to do with, I think it has everything to do with the nightmares. I think it's interesting that whatever came out of that lake, the talisman didn't stop it. They were able to just go right into that cabin and break it down.
Well, it's almost like
I never thought about Donna being...
They predate what the talismans are for, right?
Yeah.
Because when we see that version of young, quote unquote, Tabitha, I believe that is the first Tabitha as a child. So we haven't even gotten to the children being sacrificed yet at that point.
Yeah.
So the talismans wouldn't have come into play yet. Like that's why I also think they had no effect on the cicadas, because the cicadas were able to enter into Colony House to get to Marielle.
Yeah.
And it was sealed with the talismans. So whatever this nightmare aspect is, it came first. It came before the monsters. Now, does that mean that there was others before even Tabitha's version who got to the sacrificing of the kids, and their payment for whatever was bringing their nightmares to life? And it starts to make me wonder if the place itself is more important than we think, and that it's the place itself that is honestly behind everything. Because I feel like the place is magical, and everything else that kind of happens is because they're in this magical place.
But what does the place want then? The place has to want something.
It wants all their souls. I think it wants their souls. It feeds off of their nightmares and their fear
But why the same people though? Why the same souls?
This is where like I start to connect things to Lost, because when we look at Lost, the whole purpose of Lost was the light of the island. The light of the island was the soul. That was the spark in everybody. And when the character in that show says there's other places that exist like the island, makes me feel like From could be just the darkness to that light. So the purpose of this place is darkness. And
don't tell me that this is the yin to the yang of Lost.
That's where my brain goes.
Island. This is connected to that island.
That's just what makes it because when Eloise in Lost says that there's other places that exist like the island, they're just not the island. with light comes darkness. So what if this place is just darkness? There is no light to it. It is just the darkness of the world. And it makes me start getting worried. Like, what if they can't stop the cycle? What if the cycle has to constantly exist?
Dawn,
That's just where my brain goes.
I'm kicking you out right now. That's it. I can't do that. I can't.
Because like this is all way too confusing. So
I have left Lost in the rear view so many times that I needed to stay back there, and now you're bringing it into the present.
I'm sorry.
How dare you? You don't know me like that.
I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
I'll tell you, I really thought Donna was going to die when Ethan said this place. Oh, I always feel safer when you're around. I really, really felt like that was like, well, if she's going to die, that was like a goodbye line right there. I really thought Donna was going to die.
Well, it's funny you picked that out because my thought was, do they do this every single time they come back? Like, are they doing something like this? You know, like this is not the first time that he has met her. And they know each other by energy.
Yeah, that's an interesting theory too. But I hadn't even given any thought to Donna being someone working with the man in yellow. And I don't know if I really feel that.
Go on my Instagram. I have their wedding picture. Like, go in my stories. But another thing is that it's not as scary when she's around. He says it's not as scary when she's around. Almost like they're untouchable when they're with her.
Well, apparently they're not, because
yeah. I mean, she made it through that.
Roger got killed.
Roger got
very
killed.
violently. Very violently, I might add.
Oh my God. It was awful. It was awful. Awful. And he didn't want to touch the dolls.
I think I'm in the same boat as Jackson. I think that they're further along this time than they've ever gotten in the past.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because maybe that's why there have been a couple instances when Sophia's facial expressions, to me, it just seems like, oh, this is new, right?
Yeah.
This hasn't happened before.
Yeah.
And even Julie coming up against a yellow man when, in Victor's timeline, when Victor's mom was killed, the yellow man didn't recognize her. Like, so I think that this group, this iteration has gotten further than any of the ones before.
Maybe at the beginning of her figuring out how to do this, she doesn't have as much control and had never popped in there before.
Yeah.
Or maybe never that far back. I mean, as far as we know, she's only been in there present, right?
This is the first time she went like further back. Yes, present, to where she didn't see something in the present.
Yeah.
That she was currently in from to. She wasn't around to see it, but she was there. She was in from already.
Yeah. So when Tabitha was saying we have to leave here right now, like the cabin in the middle of the night, it terrified me because we know what's out there, right?
Yep.
Like in Tabitha's thinking, whatever is about to come is worse than what's out there. That they had, like they were sitting ducks in that cabin, and then all of a sudden the Kool-Aid man comes through the wall, and gets
That's a very
Roger.
good way to describe that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Hi, McGurkin. or Mig Merkin. All right. So I don't know. It just, that whole scene was just nuts. That whole thing. And they end up leaving without any food, which they need,
Pretty
which
much.
means they have to go back. But now, if they go back, like it takes an entire day to get there, right? Or do they start harvesting as soon as they get there, but it takes so long to harvest that it becomes nightfall? They're not going to be able to camp. They're going to have to go there, maybe find a shelter somewhere in between, a midpoint, so that they can get there and get far enough away from there in the middle of, before nightfall comes. Or do the dolls come out at any particular time? Is it just nighttime? Does nighttime make all the magic happen? Because it brings out the monsters.
Yeah. I don't know. I think this whole thing was just interesting because, the song that was playing, Tabitha even having more memories, and even more memories popped up. Excuse me. Hold on.
I didn't hear any music. I'm so looking at what's happening.
I didn't hear it either.
When they were all sitting in the cabin and you hear this melody.
With the dolls.
Do you hear that?
Yeah.
And, it's, I don't know, I think.
Do you think she was just hearing it because she was having a memory?
I think they all heard it. All of them said that they heard the music.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, I think Tabitha's done a pretty good job of keeping it kind of quiet that she's been there before, right?
Yeah. Jade's the one running around.
But now,
maybe
everyone.
That's what Christopher did, and that's why he got killed. Sorry.
Yeah. So, but now everyone who's in that cabin, well, Roger's dead, but Donna and Patty, is that her name? Patty?
Yeah. Patty.
They all know now, I think it's just going to be interesting to see which, if the town starts to turn on them because they know that they've been there before. Maybe they feel like they're the reason that they're there. I don't know. Yeah. It's interesting though.
So Johnny Utah brings up an interesting point, wondering if that's what Jim and Kenny heard outside the cabin. And then remember when Boyd and Sarah were in the tent and it got pulled? Who pulled that? Who pulled that and why?
I don't know if that was necessarily them outside the cabin when it came to Jim and Kenny, because those things were underwater.
Yeah.
Right. So does that mean they could come and go freely at any time? Then why the significance of showing us the pulling of the rope?
Right.
That they were kind of stuck underneath there or something.
Yeah. Because it was tons of.
I don't know if it was the same thing.
Yeah. Maybe it's.
I think that those. I don't think they were the same thing either. I think those voodoo dolls were trapped underwater, and until they pulled them up,
their energy was muted.
Yeah. But now we know Tabitha killed one. The other one was kind of on fire. So does that still mean that we now have these monsters roaming around, and can they get to town?
Well, now
that's a good question. What?
Because then they're in trouble. Because if the talismans don't stop them, these things are just going to be bashing down walls.
Right.
It looks so bizarre that the mother doll comes up with her hands on fire. It's not like the rest of her was, burning. She looks at them and then turns around. I didn't understand that piece. I couldn't come up with anything for that.
And what did Tabitha stab it with? Because Tabitha
It was
Jackson,
like a stick or something.
I think it was a piece from one of the totems.
One of the totems. That's what I was thinking too. Because like Jackson, Jackson. I hope I'm saying your name right. I hope I'm not messing it up. But her saying she remembered how to hurt them.
Yeah.
And then is it just those puppets that the totem will kill, or will those totems kill the monsters too? But if they kill the monsters, then they're just going to have to give birth to all of them.
Right? Oh my gosh. Like it makes your head hurt. Because it's like they're in this predicament, this unwinnable situation right now. Because now that they know the outcome of what happens when you kill a monster, who's going to risk that?
Yeah. There's a lot at stake. I wrote this other thing about Donna. Donna lit the fire, or did Donna light the fire so that the dolls could see the cabin in the dark?
Ooh.
Because it was late in the day when she lit the fire. Why would she light that knowing they were going into the cabin for the night? The whole place could have burnt down.
That's an interesting theory.
I mean, did something tell her to light that fire?
I didn't really give it much thought. I
didn't either at first, but now that you're saying that, she wasn't cooking any food. They didn't really need warmth per se.
Nope.
So that fire's kind of. And as much as I don't want to look at Donna sus, because this is how I look at Clara. I look at Clara the same way. And now I'm starting to see things about Donna that's also making me think things, because it's that same kind of like, what was the purpose of the fire?
What was the purpose? Yeah.
Yeah.
You bring up Clara, the woman that helped bring Henry to bed. That is something normally that Clara would do.
Yes. So why was Clara now? Like,
what's
where
that?
is she? Yep.
All right, good. It wasn't just me. And Vic is saying that if Donna ends up being a mole, she's going to be pissed. I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to be pissed. I have to say, Liz Saunders, they were at the ACTRA Awards, I think over the weekend or Friday or something. She had on this dress. I simply must have it. I have to have it. And I was like, I'm telling her, I'm like, you look so fabulous. Like, I asked her if she made it. And she's like, this whole thing, I only wear it when I don't care what I look like. That was basically the response. She looked fabulous. Yeah. And Jay Pustka says, if she's evil, it will break my heart. I would have to know why she's evil.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Donna to me has been the rock. Like Donna is the one that you just go to if you have a problem. Like Donna's the one that's going to come up with a solution. I just don't know that I think if she is a mole, it's not intentional, right? It's maybe she's being manipulated in some way, but I don't know if I'm buying it.
I think she's got some plot armor in this, in this world. She knows she's got some plot armor, because as long as she toes the line with whatever, it gives her the freedom to create a place like Colony House, to cultivate the relationships that she has. Like, she's got some security that other people don't have. That's the way I'm seeing it.
I'm definitely starting to question things. I'm definitely starting to question things.
Because
but again,
why would the monster rip her sister to shreds and she's standing there close enough to watch it, but not her?
Right. I think she said she was hiding in a bush or something.
How hidden could she have been?
Yeah.
Like there's not a lot of big bushes. It's not like she's a cat and she can just hide under the bush.
Yeah.
I don't know. All of a sudden she became somebody else in this world to me. Somebody else. And I'm feeling a little sad about it, to be honest.
But I think that would be the purpose.
Yeah.
That would be the reason why, if they're going to do it, they do it.
Yeah.
Because all of us are like out there like, no, it would break us. It would break us. Well, they might just choose to break us.
Because like, what if the yellow man approached her and gave her a deal? Because everyone in this place has a job. Like, like the overall purpose of being there. What if her purpose is to provide some sense of stability so that people let their guards down? Because look at what goes on in Colony House. They party. They party all the time.
While Henry was playing the piano, they were smoking a bong behind him. Yeah. I mean, it's a party house. It's a hippie house.
Yeah. That's basically it. She's got the freedom. It's almost like as long as they keep that door closed, people there are safe. She has very low incidents happening there, Their biggest risk was when the Matthews family showed up and they had to open the door at night and there were monsters on the porch, And then when the house was infiltrated by Jasmine, who I've got to say, like on our YouTube page, that is the YouTube page, my, what do you call it? TikTok page for it. The highest like views are for her, like off the charts, like no comparison with anybody else. People just loved her.
And we haven't seen her again. So like, why? Is that by design?
I'll tell you offline.
Okay.
All right. So do we want to switch over to Jade?
Poor Jade.
Yeah.
What? Poor Jade?
I said poor Jade. Poor Jade.
Like after watching this trip, I don't know if I want to try mushrooms.
Right. It confirmed one thing for me. You're good.
Yeah.
If I see bugs, no. My word. Like, yep. Nope.
Yeah. Like, I have killed a couple of ants during this podcast. So maybe this is not real. Because like they're the big black ants, just like those big spiders. Like they're just off by a couple of legs. It could be them. My God. Vic just said that Donna was the man in yellow. Don't even say that, Vic. That's just mean. So we start. Jade is asking Boyd if he's there. Like I can't remember what it was, but he wants to know. Wait a minute, realize that in the opening, like the cold open. Okay, let me go back to that page. Sorry. I'm like, I felt like I was missing a whole thing. So in the cold open, they're in the sheriff's office and Jade looks out the window. The yellow suit is on the desk behind him. And the motel sign lights up saying that there's the answers, no vacancy, and then the arrow. Like the sign is lit up like it's never been broken. And so then we have the spiders crawling on the window, and then I'm like, he's in his halulu. Because that's when it starts, and he asks Boyd if the shrooms have kicked in. And then the spiders are crawling on the window, tells Boyd that he needs him to be the anchor and guide so he knows what is and isn't real and safe. And the safe word is Capricorn.
Which didn't work, by the way.
Right? I loved when they were in the tunnel seated, Boys just like fucking Capricorn. Fucking Capricorn. Like
Capricorn.
this shit is real.
Yeah. It didn't work. It did not
Jade
work.
was just being Jade. Like, I don't think there would ever be a safe word that he would listen to.
Yes.
So Jade and Boyd are in the woods, and Jade's tripping, and he throws up. And that's what I remember a friend of mine telling me is what happens when you do ayahuasca. Like, that is before, like, you take the ayahuasca, then you throw up. So that's kind of like turned me off. I don't want to throw up. But and then the trip really starts. So he says, show me what I used to know that I can't remember. Show me what's in here that will help us leave. And then a violin plays. And that's when he encounters himself on the day that his grandmother died. Like, I just go back to often that scene with Mrs. Liu when she is mourning her husband, and he tells the story of him being a little boy in France and his grandmother dying. And like, my heart just broke from, I think that's when I totally fell in love with Jade and realized he wasn't that big of a jerk. He just was vulnerable and didn't want to be broken.
I think Jade went on an epic trip. It's just so many things. The one thing that he said at the end, though, it's like, I know how to get. Did he say, I know how to get out of here? Is that what he said? Something?
Oh, I'll tell you exactly what he said. He said, Jade says, I know where they are. I know what we have to do to go home. I know we can save the children.
And then also, let me know what you guys think about this. Was there water down in that cave? Could that be the Lake of Tears? Or was it just me? I thought when he was like walking in the cave, I want to say I saw what looked like water.
Where did you see it? I don't remember seeing anything.
When he was coming through, like right before the monsters came to him, it looked like he was following his younger self. Yeah. And he came out, like he came into what looked like it was a clearing, but it looked to me like there was water there. But maybe I'm wrong.
Boyd walks ahead.
Oh yeah. So Jackson said the original cave that Tabitha and Victor ran into, and they said, where is the water coming from? So I wonder if that's where the Lake of Tears is.
Wouldn't that make sense? Like, we don't know, like it hasn't been discussed at all, like how the children were killed, right? How they were sacrificed. So maybe they were all drowned.
So Dee, when I say I think I saw water, it looked like, you know how like when you have a lake and it's kind of like, I mean, it wasn't like a big body of water, but it just looked like to me like water was like meeting the ground when he came out of. It's hard for me to articulate that, but it's like it wasn't a full shot, but it was him coming out of like he was coming into this clearing, and it just looked to me like it was water meeting the ground at the very bottom of the screen. But it could be, maybe I I need to go back and watch it again anyway.
Yeah, now it makes me want to go watch it too. I think what was screwing us up earlier was that I had my iPad going, and it's close to my computer, and it might have just been pulling signal or something.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Makes sense.
Does it? Because you're the computer nerd. I'm just like not that person.
No,
me neither. Me neither.
It's like I put gas in it and I go. That's it.
Right? Like
I work
I'm
IT. Yeah, I will tell you that. Yes, that's.
Wait a minute. I've got Jade on in the tunnel. Okay, so is it when he follows his younger self, Boyd goes off one direction,
right? And it's like he comes out into what looks like it's kind of a clearing.
Okay. Okay.
But I could be wrong.
There's Boyd. I thought it was interesting because I didn't notice it the first time that when Boyd was like, all right, follow me or whatever, that Boyd went to the right and then his younger self was standing to the left. All right, hold on.
Well, we know that it's, well, here's at the very least, this is the cave that has been visited several times, and we know that there's water down there. So I think that's where they're going to say. But then somebody said they need to dig up the pool to bring back the Lake of Tears.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Maybe that's it.
That's why the pool is dry. I don't see water. I see a hole. Ooh, there may be water. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it looked to me like it could be water.
I think there may be water. You know what it is? I'm trying to see if the lantern he's holding reflects off of it. And I think
it was just it's very tiny in the bottom of the screen. But when I saw that, I'm like, ooh, that could be Lake of Tears. It's the kids' tears, Vic. That's a great theory that the Lake of Tears are the children's tears.
I think that's what it is. It's not water. You know what it is? It's the hole that he gets pushed into. It's not water. I think.
Well, there's water down there. We know that.
Yeah. I think if anything, it is the children's tears. That's more. Hey, Scarlett. It's more. That seems like that's more poetic. That it would be the children's tears, because being killed like that, their parents sacrifice them. But it makes me wonder if the parents willingly sacrificed them.
I don't know. Based on how this man in yellow gets into people's minds and makes them hear voices, who knows? I mean, at this point, I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. My question was when Jade was giving the directive as to what, setting the tone for what he wanted on this trip. My question was, what if it's another trap? Let's see. Jade looks at, all right, tells her, okay. And then when the colonial version of him, and they're calling this guy the colonial Jade. So now that gives us a time frame. Let's see, CJ. What does CJ stand for? Oh, the colonial Jade wants him to drink the blood and remember. But the young Jade tells him not to. Why do you think the young Jade said that?
I don't know. I mean,
another test maybe?
Possibly.
Like kind of something like Sophia did to Sarah with drinking the water. I don't know. I don't know.
Do you think that the young Jade could be the yellow man?
No, I mean, maybe I think if I'm thinking about it, I think it is young Jade represents to Jade. He sees himself, it is him as a young boy. And I think it's just himself vocalizing what he's afraid is going to happen, right? It's like, don't drink that blood. You're going to see things you don't want to see. It's just like, it's Jade speaking to himself, right?
Okay.
That's the way I look at it.
Yeah. Because Boyd turns around and tells him, so Boyd tells him it's not real. Go ahead and drink it. So I think that's the other part of Jade saying, like, can't think of the right word. Is pragmatic the right word? But whatever it is, the thinking Jade is saying, go ahead. None of this is real. So you can't get hurt by drinking the blood. And when he drinks the blood, there's spiders in the bottom of the cup, which tells us that it's not real. That's, one of my little points with that. And I noticed, and I'm sure you did too, that there was a point where the young Jade, was speaking French instead of English. And I was wondering if that was just Jade tapping into his younger self.
Yeah, I really think I think Jade was manifesting that vision of himself to kind of be a companion and to help him through what he's getting ready to go through. Yeah. Because we know now that Boyd wasn't really there. It was just
it was just Jade the whole time.
It was just Jade the whole time.
Okay. So then let's see. I told you you don't get to pick it. Oh, young Jade comes from behind him speaking French and says shit. So I learned malt, right? So asks the boy why, and young Jade says, I told you not to. You don't get to pick and choose your memories. Now you will see things that you don't want to see. So now he's going, he may not be going on the trip that he needs to go on because he did drink the blood. But my question was, does he need to see these things just the same? Because when he comes out of it, he has an answer.
Yeah, and I can't wait to hear what that answer is, because that was. And do we even get a show next week because of the holiday?
No. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? All right. No. Jade says, I know where they are. I know what we have to do to go home. I know how we can save the children. So he does come out of this with an answer, with some answer. We don't know that it's the right answer. And I think when his younger self is saying, don't drink that blood, and his rational self is saying it's not real, I think this is what made Jade the entrepreneur and thinker that he is, was by doing things like this. Like, there was probably a Jade that would have listened to that warning.
Yeah.
Let's see. The first season. All right. I loved like all the Jades being on display, but why Colony House?
Because they needed to get to the basement where that door to the tunnel is.
But they could have gone to the root cellar too.
I don't know. I for whatever reason, I think the golem being at Colony House, I think Colony House has to be
protected,
the way in. That I think they have to get there from Colony House.
And that's why he's building it there. And notice she's up in the attic. So it's like, if she builds it that far up, it's like anything underneath it would be protected.
Possibly. I'm terrified that the whole floor is just going to fall in.
Right? You do a lot of
Like,
water
Yeah.
up there. You do
There's
a lot of
water
water up
up
there.
there, a lot of mud. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I just don't know if this is going to end well. But yeah.
So Jackson is saying, I can see why people are talking about something to do with the bones, and maybe that's the case. May not work and lead to something else when he sees the kids, there's bones behind him. I'm lost.
He's talking about when Jade gets put in like the ground by the monsters.
Oh, yeah.
There's all those bones. You could clearly see bones there. And what
Yeah.
if those are the bones of the children? And Jade thinks he maybe has to burn the bones or do something with the bones in order to leave. Like, is that why now that he knows where their remains are, maybe he
Yeah.
thinks he's got to put them to rest?
Yeah, in some way, because I wonder if the way they sacrificed them was to dig those holes and then push the rocks over them, and the children died not being able to get out. I mean, that's horrific. That's a horrific way to die.
Yeah.
I mean, initially when we first saw those, like, I'm just going to call them beds, when he landed there the first time and he looked up and saw the roots, I was like, oh, they sacrificed them on those stones. Like when you think about, I don't know, different movies where it's like an altar and then
Yeah.
they just stab them through the heart. And I was thinking that that's how they sacrifice them. But now, like just now, I'm thinking that they put them, maybe they drugged them and put them in those holes. And the poor kids woke up like in this dark, shallow grave.
Yeah. And that kind of brings us back to the light and dark places.
Yeah. Oh, darn. Tying
Dark.
it back to Lost. I'm glad the man in yellow is wearing yellow, because if he showed up wearing black or white, I couldn't, I just couldn't. I liked Lost, but I didn't like how lost I felt with a lot of it,
Yeah.
I don't want to go through that again.
I don't think we will. It's when I think about Lost and what they said within it, and knowing that this just comes from that space, being the show people, the people behind the scenes, that I wouldn't be surprised if it is another magical place within their world, if they're trying to world build.
Yeah.
Because then that means we could get more. That means that we might get other places and other stories, and that I get a little excited, because I'm like, okay, that actually would be interesting to see the other places that could possibly exist and what they could be.
I would love it. I love a puzzle show. I love a really good puzzle show. Lost was my first puzzle show, and we all know how that turned out. And like the ending was kind of like the Soprano ending, like what the hell just happened, so Boyd, they're at the colony house, and Boyd asks what he sees, and Jade says, the people from my hallucinations, and asks young Jade why they are there and playing that song. And young Jade says, you know why. And then Jade realizes that they are all him. I'm wondering if there's something deeper to that, why, or if it was the common thread so that he would know that that was him.
I think it's the common thread. I also think there's something really, I think there's the music, then playing the violin, the music from the, when they were at the bottle trees. I think music is going to be somehow, this violin playing in this song is going to have, it's going to be instrumental in whatever it is that when they find the kids or whatever, however he rescues them. There was a couple of things in the chat though about saying maybe Jade is the reason that they're all there in the first place. Maybe he's the one that caused he was the one that caused the kids to die, and he's trying to somehow atone for that. Who said? I think it was Stephanie that said that up. Stephanie said, I think Jade might have been the roots of why the people agreed to sacrifice their children.
I've been starting to, I like that. I started to wonder that myself, because I like this. Recently, looking at the whole storyline with the kids, I'm like, what if that's honestly all BS? Like, what if Jade and Tabitha had more of a role than we thought? And what more horrific way to rip hope from them, thinking that we were the good guys, we didn't want to do this, and then come to find out you actually had something to do with it.
See, that's true. Like, that's what I was wondering, if they were the bad guys somehow.
That would be pretty twisted and messed up.
Because they were the ones that didn't want to go along with it. But what if it was everyone else that didn't want to go along with sacrificing the kids? Or, because, like, is that why? I mean, it could go either way. Are the kids coming to them saying Ankui in order to free them, like, remember, so you can free us because you loved us so much? Or are they coming to them like, hey, remember, you guys were the assholes in this story?
Yeah.
You need to atone for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, what if Tabitha and Jade were the deal makers? Like, they are the ones who made the deal.
Yeah. I wonder if that's the case, if they are the deal makers. Yeah, because we just don't know. We just don't know. Let's see. So the guy that was under the rock, what era would you say that guy is from? I feel pretty solid with everybody else, but what era would you say? Was it like 20s, 30s?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think
it was kind of a modern suit, like modern enough that it made me start to question whether he was there in the 90s.
I don't know if there was a cycle in between there, because our other co-host James, I liked what he was saying. He's like, okay, so you have these reincarnations that come in. They have to be born, they have to grow up, they have to have children. So it's going to take 30, there's going to take some time in between cycles. So was there enough time from the 70s to the 90s and then to where we are today?
I think so. Because that would be 30 years, because we're in 2026, right?
Mm-hmm.
So at the 70s, that was 40 years ago. We get that and then some buffer.
I was thinking that MG 1931, that's where I was saying if I was going to place the guy under the boulder, it would be during that time.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and look at it again. Yeah.
What's that?
It was a little ambiguous to me. I didn't really, nothing, it didn't strike me as being from any specific timeline like the others.
Well, I mean, I'm looking, like, his hairstyle, the front of he's got a receding hairline, and the front of it is swept like this. It's not coming, it's sort of coming to a point. But it's the collar, the way the collar comes in. I think it may be the 30s.
Yeah.
So if it's the 30s, that would mean the 70s were 40 years later.
Yeah, and that would be enough time for the next reincarnation to grow up, have kids, get there, and all that stuff. And the same thing from Miranda to Tabitha. Enough time for Tabitha to be born, grown up, have her children, and then get to From.
Oh, I'm trying to look at his shoes. We don't get a good enough look. Sorry. Sometimes you can tell with the shoes. I definitely didn't see spats.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, in examining them, Christopher had some kind of injury on his neck. That seemed to be what took him down. I'm guessing that the 30s guy got crushed by a rock.
I think so. I think it's safe to say that.
Yeah, I think he was killed by a boulder. Yeah.
I'm wondering how they did that, though.
How'd they kill him with a boulder?
Was he at the bottom of a hill or something?
I
Colony
don't
House
know.
is up on a hill.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the colonial guy, that one's pretty clear. And then the last one, the Civil War guy, I mean, he's got a milky eye, but I don't see any injury on him.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Okay.
I don't know if it was I was like fire, but then why would his clothes would be somewhat singed or in that way. So I didn't see a wound on him that screamed, okay, that's how he died.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he was hung.
Possibly. I have to go back and see, can you see his neck?
Yeah. And
I wasn't looking at
is
that
perfect.
Close, yeah.
His collar is perfect. It's not mussed up at all. So that can't be it. He looks untouched. The only thing I see wrong with him is his milky eye. And he probably came out of slavery with that,
Could be, yeah.
So we learned that all of them were murdered, which puts Jade at risk now, because if all of these predecessors were murdered, that increases his chances of being murdered. And does him knowing and being able to say to the rest of the town, hey, this is what's happened to me at least 4 times, would they protect him? Or would there be a faction that splits off and tries to kill him?
I think it's going to depend on the man in yellow and what kind of grasp. Look at how easily he was able to get between Marielle and Christy, Randall and Julie. If he can cause that kind of chaos between them, it's not going to be a hard task for him to turn the town on Jade.
Yeah. I just kind of look at anyone being involved with Randall experiencing chaos, though. I mean, he's not the friendliest guy. He's so insecure, all right. They don't, the whole thing with him is that the people of the town killed him. So there's 46 people, including the man in yellow, that are, could kill him. How do the people in the town find out? How does all of this unfold so that this happens? And I'm looking at all of these guys, all of them with the exception of the colonial guy, I think Jade saw in the first season, or was Christopher the second season?
No, I think he saw, I believe maybe he saw Christopher no, he gets a vision of him in the first season, I believe, when he gets the journal. And doesn't he see Christopher open the journal, and then the blood starts to run down, I believe.
Oh my God. Dee just said this. this could be how it happens. There's got to be a witch in every story, right?
Yep. And we also know Henry went off the rails in front of a bunch of people in Colony House, tell them what they did to her, and Kenny sees the drawing. So it could just kind of be a walls are closing in sort of situation. They were able to keep it from the townsfolk for so long. Now they're going to start asking some questions, I think.
Do you think that Miranda was actually running away from the town the night she was trying to get back to the tree? Do you think that that could have been it? Like she was like, maybe something happened and she was revealed to have a connection to this place already. And so she was running to get away.
And maybe that's why she told the kids to stay away from Christopher, because the town was after Christopher and she didn't want them to also get maybe hurt or killed because the townsfolk were coming after Christopher.
Yeah. Like, remember when they're in the root cellar and then Miranda runs off and then the sister runs off after Miranda, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was Miranda running to the tree?
I believe she was, because then don't we get a flashback of the scene where she got to the tree but got killed by Smiley?
Yeah.
And I think she's in the same outfit because we see Eloise, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Eloise runs off. We never know what happened to Eloise. Like, we never see her body or anything.
No.
I wonder if she got in the tree and went somewhere else. Like maybe while Smiley was attacking Miranda, she got in the tree.
And Vic is right. She was going to abandon her kids because that's what they do.
Yeah.
If she was running to that tree.
Yeah.
She didn't have her kids with her. Her kids were stuck, you know. I mean.
And look at Tabitha was trying to do that this season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She was trying to get back in that tree. Like,
and Henry's the one that stopped her. So you got your kids here.
Yeah, like that just really bothered me. It really bothered me that Tabitha was trying to do that. I'm like, what are you thinking?
Right. You know? Like, and I understood she had nobody expects her to just sit around. Like, we get that. Yeah. But like you have to relax for this right now. Jim just died.
Yeah.
Your kids are like really going off right now. You need to take 5 seconds. Take 5 seconds before you just go jumping through a tree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take 5 seconds. Yeah. Definitely rethink this. Think this over. Don't be so rash, you know?
Pretty much.
So we've talked about Jade being in the hallway underneath Colony House. Young Jade leaves and Handbag Sally says, "Hi, Jade. Dock worker and milkman are there. She says he should have listened to Boyd." But then she says this, "But you were never really the smart one, were you?" To me, that made me think that he was manipulated, like easily manipulated. And maybe, you know, that's why he, you know, ends up dead every single time. Like he was trying to do the right thing. And like, we've all been in that situation, generally with a group of girls. We try to do the right thing and somehow we end up odd man out and everyone's mad at us.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what she was saying, you know, like, you know, we were trying to do the right thing and, you know, so let's see. And at the end of this, we have the Dorothy, you know, in Oz moment where he's like, Jade wakes up in the sheriff's office, asks Boyd how they got there. And Boyd says they never left, you know.
You've been here the whole time.
Yeah, you've been here the whole time. All right. Well, we managed to get this done in 2 hours. This was, I know not everyone agrees, but I just thought so much happened in this episode. And I feel like we got some answers.
I think we got more questions than anything. I just can't, I can't wait till the next episode. I can't wait. We have to wait 2 weeks.
Yeah, so. I'm hoping that the next episode is going to boost this episode. Like if it doesn't, then I'm still on the fence about this episode, because like you said, Lisa, like I feel way too many more questions.
Yeah.
And it's like the answers we got were quite more questions.
Yeah, and Vic makes a good point. It's more like confirmations, right?
Yes.
Instead of just answers, it's just confirmations.
Well, the thing about it is that we are halfway through this season.
Mm-hmm.
We have to walk away with something in 5 episodes. There's something that they have to send us away with. But we have a season and a half to wrap this show up. So I don't think it's pressure. I think it's storytelling that they have to give us answers or confirmations or whatever. They have to give us something in order to keep us coming back, because if we didn't get any of this and it was just some episode, we could be just sitting here bitching about how much the show sucks,
Mm-hmm.
But instead we're just like, oh my gosh, and then this happened and then that happened. Like, I wonder if I can take this snapshot. I've got on my screen Jade with all of his, nope, it's the black screen with all of his lookalikes or his past lives,
I like G's comment. Why is more questions a bad thing? I just don't get how folk are expecting to know the story before the story is even done. Let it play out. I think that.
No, I 100% agree.
Yeah.
It just worries me because like we said, we don't have a lot more time.
Yeah.
So it's like, before we pile on more questions, I hope that they can answer them in a way that makes the story make sense.
Yeah. I don't want
I'm just worried. I'm not mad at it. It just worries me.
Yeah, I'm not either. I want something concrete at the finale, not this coming finale, but the finale.
Mm-hmm.
I want something concrete. I don't want the screen to go black. Like I want to know.
Vic is so frustrated with the more questions. Vic is like, we have one more season. I'm so like, I get it, but I think, I don't know. I just feel like with every time we learn something new about the past lives, I think I can see a pattern of getting to a resolution at the end. We're going to get there.
Yeah. Because, gosh, if you've ever researched your family history and you're looking at records and you get an answer, and a lot of times it leads to another question, and you keep going back further and further. But I don't know. I guess it's just life. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. G is saying, I'm hoping for a spinoff. I love the world they've created. I hope it's not just over next year. I was thinking spinoff, but I don't know what it would mean or how it would be. What if Donna is really truly a slave to that place? And her chains are different from Randall and Marielle's and Julie's. Maybe her sister is alive in some way. And she gets
I
her
don't know.
sister back. I don't know. Well, it's 8:58 p.m. EST. So I want to thank Dawn for joining us. It was wonderful to have you.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
I know, it was really good. Lisa, wonderful as always. Thank
You
you.
too, Liz.
Thank you.
I'm
was fun.
just the color. You guys are the real commentary.
I want to thank everybody who made really great comments. I mean, I love this conversation.
Yeah, it's great conversation, and it's great because we have people in our live just going back and forth, and I love that. So everyone, thank you so much for joining us live. We appreciate it. I hope you join us in 2 weeks when the show comes back after Memorial Day. I won't be as concerned, I don't think, about being done at 9 at that point. I'll be like, let's stay on all night long. So at any rate, thanks everybody, and have a great week and a good
great holiday next week. Everyone have
Bye guys.
see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.